is now 5:53 on this Friday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go.
Northland Senior Care Network organizers say the region is experiencing a senior care crisis. So as soon as 2027, senior care and housing will have a larger need than ever, according to a Northland group. The group is currently working with what they have for available resources, but membership isn't limited to only senior facility employees. Attendees at the group's meeting yesterday included a public health educator from the county, hospital social workers, discharge nurses, and even real estate agents and moving companies that work with older adults. The group hopes to better and more efficiently serve seniors using existing resources with the help of networking and education.
And new this morning, a 72-year-old man has died after a snowmobile crash in Crane Lake Township. Around 9:15 last night, authorities responded to a call of an unresponsive man who veered off of a trail and then struck a tree while riding a snowmobile. According to the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office, friends provided aid until medical personnel arrived on scene. The 72-year-old from Glenville, Minnesota, was then pronounced dead due to those injuries. The cause of the crash is unknown, but it appears speed may have been a factor. The identity of the man is being withheld due to pending family notification.
A Duluth man will spend more than 17.5 years in prison for drug trafficking. A federal judge handed down that sentence Wednesday to 34-year-old Jonathan Thompson, also known as Remy. He would go back and forth between Duluth and Chicago, trafficking meth and fentanyl. Thompson was arrested back in November of 2023. During his sentencing, the judge said Thompson destroyed lives and families. After he's released, he'll be supervised for another 5 years.
The Northland College Board of Trustees says financial struggles and not recovering from the COVID pandemic ultimately led to the closure of the college, which has been operating for 133 years. After fundraising and restructuring last year, leaders say the structural deficit in operational costs could not be saved. They say closing was the responsible thing to do for students, faculty, and staff rather than trying to operate under another uncertain year. Leaders are still unsure what will happen with the buildings, and their next top priority is helping their 250 students navigate their next steps. And if you're looking to get active this weekend, Amsoil Arena is offering a pretty unique opportunity. You can skate where the Bulldogs do during a free open skate. The fun runs from 1 to 5 on Sunday afternoon. There will also be free parking. You'll have to bring your own skates, though, and also a helmet.
And it has been quite cold this February. I've been talking